Little did I know that the simple act of answering a knock at my front door would set in motion a transformation in how I perceived my very being. On a tranquil Thursday morning, the atmosphere was thick with stillness, as if the very walls of the house were holding their breath, and the clock's ticking echoed like a distant drumbeat in the silence. As I completed the task of sweeping the back porch, a moment of contemplation washed over me. Should I indulge in the warmth of a cup of tea, or perhaps tackle the long-neglected craft closet? Just then, the sound of the doorbell echoed through the air, interrupting my thoughts. To my surprise, no one had crossed my threshold. As I turned the handle and pushed the door open, there he stood, Jacob, the younger brother of my dear friend Denise. Her much younger brother, a mere 18 years of age, has just crossed the threshold of graduation. In that peculiar chapter of life, one finds themselves standing on the threshold of adulthood, yet still navigating the winding paths of uncertainty and discovery. It had been some time since our paths last crossed, perhaps during the last Thanksgiving feast, when he was a whirlwind of limbs, a canvas of acne, and a mane of shaggy hair. Yet, in that moment, he appeared transformed, taller, broader, and with a sharper, more polished demeanor. His hair lay neatly trimmed, and a peculiar calmness graced his features, as if he held secrets of the world within his gaze. "Greetings, Martha," he said, his smile a delicate blend of anticipation and kindness. "I trust this doesn't come across as strange." It was Denise who spoke your name, suggesting that perhaps you hold the key to the assistance I seek. With a gentle smile gracing my lips, I found myself wrapped in a veil of curiosity, a hint of puzzlement dancing in my mind. "What kind of assistance do you seek, dear one?" With a subtle shift of his weight, he raised a manila folder, its edges frayed, telling tales of a grip that had lingered far too long. With a glimmer of determination in his eyes, he shared, "I'm applying to the community college." Once upon a time, there was a soul who faced a daunting challenge, the task of crafting a personal essay. Yet, deep within, they felt a sense of dread, for the art of writing seemed to elude them like a fleeting shadow in the twilight. Once upon a time, Denise shared a tale that you were a guide in the world of English, imparting knowledge to eager minds. With a gentle chuckle, I gracefully moved to the side. "Once upon a time?" From time to time, I find myself at the library, where I take on the role of a tutor, guiding eager minds through the labyrinth of knowledge. Step right up and let your eyes wander through the wonders that await us. As he stepped through the door, a wave of change washed over me, steering my day onto an unexpected path. Gathered around my kitchen table, we found ourselves in a moment suspended in time. As I poured him a glass of refreshing lemonade, he politely turned down the offer of coffee. With a subtle motion, he slid the folder across the table, its contents waiting to be unveiled. His fingers quivered ever so slightly, as if caught in the grip of a fleeting moment. "It was a tale of his mother," he murmured, his voice softening as he spoke. "Last year, she took her final bow, and in the wake of her departure, they urged me to pen something from the heart. Yet each time I attempt to embark on this journey, I find myself at a loss, uncertain of where to begin." In the depths of his gaze, a flicker of something mysterious danced, hinting at untold stories waiting to unfold. In the shadows of sorrow, where grief lingers like a heavy fog, confusion dances in the mind, and a whisper of shame tugs at the heart. And in that moment, a deep sorrow filled my heart for him. As I carefully opened the folder, my eyes fell upon his hurried scribbles, fragments of thoughts scattered like leaves in the wind. There were a few paragraphs, yet they lacked the form and structure that could weave a tale of their own. Yet, deep within those lines, I sensed a tale waiting to be unveiled. Once upon a time, there was a young boy who clung tightly to the comforting embrace of his mother's love, even as he ventured into the chilling unknown that lay ahead. "I believe I can lend a hand," I offered softly. "Yet I shall not pen it on your behalf. In this journey of creation, you shall weave the words, and I shall be your guide, helping you discover the perfect voice to bring your tale to life. With a deep breath, he let the weight of the world slip from his shoulders, a wave of relief washing over him. That is all I require. As the hours slipped by, I found myself weaving a tapestry of inquiries, each thread pulling him deeper into conversation. He began to share his thoughts with me. In the quiet moments, when the world faded away, he often pondered the times he felt most connected to her. What cherished memory brought a smile to his face? In the tapestry of his memories, there lay a moment he longed to relive, a fleeting instant that shimmered with the warmth of nostalgia. He shared tales of her gentle hum as she folded the laundry, the way she crafted the most questionable spaghetti yet insisted on serving it every birthday, and how she would soothe his restless nights by rubbing his back, even when he had grown taller than her at 15. As he spoke, I observed the transformation of his expression, each word weaving a new tale upon his features. With a voice that would tremble and then burst into laughter, he brought joy to every moment. In that moment, a profound authenticity enveloped me, as if I were in the presence of two Jacobs, the boy, full of innocence, and the young man, grappling with the weight of life's challenges. As I wandered through the moments of my day, I found a curious thing happening. I caught myself smiling more than I ever expected. Perhaps it was a surge of nurturing instincts that stirred within me, or perhaps there was something more at play. In the depths of uncertainty, a question lingers, echoing softly in the mind. I don't know. It had been ages since someone had taken a seat opposite me, their gaze filled with a longing that spoke of need and connection. It wasn't for a task of practicality, such as shifting furniture or whipping up cookies for a gathering at the church, but rather, it was a call for my presence. In the realm of thoughts and dreams, there lies a vast expanse known as my mind. Behold, my essence graces the scene. As the sun started its descent, casting golden hues through the branches, we found ourselves with a robust outline in hand. With notes hastily scrawled upon the pages, he carried a quiet pride nestled deep within his chest. "You're good at this," he said suddenly, his gaze holding something deeper than mere gratitude. "Truly remarkable." With a light-hearted chuckle, I reflected on the many years I've spent honing my skills. But it is so much more than that. Once upon a time, there was a moment when silence fell, and in that stillness, you found the gift of listening. His words hung in the air, causing me to stop and reflect, as if the essay had transformed into something far more significant. As I gazed upon him, memories flooded back of the young lad who had once dashed through Denise's backyard, his knees adorned with the evidence of countless adventures in the earth beneath him. Yet, in that moment, my gaze fell upon a young man, a soul marked by pain, yet softened by tenderness and ignited by curiosity. In that moment, a wave of uncertainty washed over me, leaving me to ponder the depths of that realization. With a gentle clearing of my throat, I prepared to speak. My friend, return to us on the morrow, and together we shall weave those notes into the very fabric of a first draft." With a gentle smile gracing his lips, he offered a nod of understanding. That would be a delightful prospect, indeed. Once he departed, I lingered by the window, far longer than I would care to confess, my gaze fixed on his car as it disappeared into the distance. In that moment, I pondered the peculiar little spark that had ignited within me, a fleeting ember of something unexpected. In the quiet corners of my mind, I whispered to myself that it was merely the gentle tug of a mother's instinct, intertwined with the pride that blooms in the heart of a teacher. Yet, amidst it all, there lingered an essence, a warmth that stirred the soul, unsettling in the most delightful manner. Yet uncertainty lingered in my mind as I pondered the path forward with it. Yet, amidst the swirling uncertainties, there was one truth that stood unwavering in my heart. Anticipation filled my heart as I gazed towards the dawn of tomorrow. As the sun dipped low in the sky, he arrived the following afternoon, punctual as ever, cradling a pristine notebook and that manila folder as if it contained treasures of great importance. With each step he took, there was a newfound steadiness, a clarity of purpose that guided him forward. He welcomed me with that familiar, gentle smile, and for a fleeting moment, the atmosphere around us seemed to hang in the balance, reminiscent of the serene stillness just before a summer tempest. As the sun rose high in the sky, I found myself in the kitchen, enveloped in the warm embrace of flour and sugar. The act of baking was more than just a task. It was a dance between distraction and the comforting threads of tradition woven through my life. In the quiet moments of sharing knowledge, a spark ignited within me, revealing a passion that had long been waiting to emerge. With a gentle gesture, I placed a warm plate of banana bread upon the table, inviting him to take a seat and share in the moment. "You didn't have to bake," he remarked, a hint of surprise dancing in his voice. "I know," I replied, a casual shrug accompanying my words. Yet there are moments when a warm slice beckons, and the words flow with greater ease. With a mischievous grin, he savored the first bite, and then, like a well-rehearsed duo, we plunged into our tasks. Once again, the words flowed forth with ease, as if they had been waiting for the perfect moment to escape. Across the table, we laid out his notes, each one a fragment of thought. With careful hands, we rearranged and highlighted, weaving together the threads of memories, binding them with the essence of meaning. As I walked alongside him on this journey, it was he who breathed life into the words, pouring his heart onto the page with every stroke of the pen. Once upon a time, there was a boy who found himself thrust into the whirlwind of growing up far too quickly after the loss of his beloved mother. In his heart, he clung to her memory, seeking solace in the tiniest fragments of their shared moments, a familiar song that echoed in the silence, a scent that lingered in the air, and the gentle way the morning light would dance across her face. Each of these small treasures became a thread that connected him to her, weaving a tapestry of love and remembrance in the midst of his sorrow. In certain fleeting moments, his voice would waver, as if caught in the delicate web of uncertainty. He would pause in the midst of his words, his jaw tight, and a shimmer of emotion dancing in his eyes. With each passing moment, I found myself seated in quiet patience, allowing him the room he needed. In the quiet corners of my mind, I recalled the profound ache that accompanies the loss of a beloved soul. It lingers, pressing against the ribs and settling behind the eyes, a haunting presence that endures through the passage of time. In a moment steeped in reflection, he reclined slightly, releasing a deep, lingering sigh that seemed to carry the weight of a vivid memory. With a hushed voice, he whispered an apology. "Do not be," I urged. "Behold, the creation that has come to life." True writing carries a touch of pain, a sharpness that lingers in the heart. In that moment, his gaze met mine, piercing through the surface, as if he were searching for something deeper within. "You're different from the other adults I encounter," he remarked. "You regard me with the respect of an equal, not as a mere child." A smile crept across my face at that moment. Perhaps it is because, like many wandering souls, I too often find myself adrift in the realm of uncertainty, feeling less like a grown-up and more like a child lost in the vastness of time. He let out a hearty laugh, a sound that danced through the air like a joyful melody. Then silence enveloped the room, a hush that was not awkward, but rather a gentle stillness that allowed emotions to sink deep into the very marrow of their being. As the afternoon light began to fade, the words on his page transformed into a tapestry of beauty, honesty, and sharpness. As he began to read, his voice danced through the words, gaining strength and confidence with every paragraph that flowed from his lips. As I leaned closer, I became entranced by the cadence of his words, swept away by the tide of his feelings. As he completed his task, I leaned in and softly murmured, "You were doing it." He gazed upon me, his eyes filled with a gentle warmth. "It all began because of you." And there it was once more, that gentle warmth unfurling softly in the space that lay between us. As I rose to replenish our glasses, a gentle touch brushed against my wrist as I passed him, a fleeting connection that brought me to a momentary halt. "I truly enjoy my time here," he remarked with a smile. In that moment, a sense of safety envelopes me like a warm embrace, wrapping around my heart and mind, assuring me that all is well. Though the moment was fleeting, a spark lingered on my skin, a reminder of where his fingers had danced. With a slow nod, I found myself at a loss for words, caught in the moment's uncertainty. At the tender age of 18, he was but a boy, while I stood at 61, a tapestry woven with tales of yesteryears and heartaches, my body a constant reminder of the passage of time. Yet, in the quiet corners of those afternoons, an undeniable presence began to take root. At long last, I uttered the words, "You are welcome here." At any moment. As the evening wore on and shadows began to stretch across the ground, I found myself once more at the threshold, my gaze fixed on him as he melted away into the dimming glow of twilight. His gaze lingered on me, a silent story unfolding in the depths of his eyes, and I found myself lost in the reverie of that moment. With a heart wide open and courage unyielding, it was as if he glimpsed a deeper connection, one that transcended the simple act of an older woman guiding him through the intricacies of his essay. It was as if he beheld a figure, a spirit. As I settled onto the couch, cradling a warm cup of tea, a gentle stir of confusion danced within my heart, whispering secrets in the stillness of the moment. Years had passed since I felt the warmth of a gaze like that upon me. It has been many years since I allowed myself to step into the light, to reveal my true self to the world. In that moment, a tempest brewed within me, a swirling conflict of emotions, leaving me to ponder whether I should embrace the weight of guilt or bask in the warmth of gratitude. On the morrow, he arrived unannounced, stepping into the scene without a prior word of warning. In the quiet embrace of the garden, I found myself adorned in my most weathered gloves, my knees bearing the earthy remnants of a day spent wrestling with the stubborn weeds that dared to encroach upon the delicate rose bushes. As the sun cast its gentle warmth upon the earth, a soothing embrace enveloped me, bringing a rare sense of tranquility to my solitude. It was a moment of bliss, until the unexpected sound of the gate creaking open shattered the stillness. "Oh, Martha," you say her name as if it carries the weight of 1,000 stories, each one waiting to be told. His voice danced upon the gentle currents of the late afternoon air. As I turned, there stood Jacob, a bag casually draped over his shoulder, his smile tinged with a hint of nervousness, as if he were about to embark on an adventure. With a hint of urgency in his voice, he uttered, "I hope it's okay." I merely, "Gather round, for I have something to share with you. The final draft awaits your eyes." As I rose to my feet, I gently swept the earth from my knees, my heart pounding with an inexplicable rhythm that echoed in the silence around me. Indeed, it is so. In this place, you shall always find a warm embrace, a door that stands open just for you. We found ourselves outside once more, beneath the charming trellis adorned with fairy lights that I had lovingly wrapped years ago, in a time when Richard still walked beside us. Once upon a time, the battery-powered bulbs flickered with life, casting a warm glow in the corners of my world. Yet, as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, their light faded and they ceased to shine. Still, I left them hanging, a silent testament to the moments they once illuminated. In the stillness of the moment, they lingered, suspended in a delicate balance of silence and anticipation, and I found myself reluctant to let them go. With a flourish, Jacob retrieved a stack of meticulously typed pages, presenting them to me with a sense of purpose. In the stillness of my reading, I found myself pausing, my gaze lifting to the world beyond the pages whenever a phrase resonated within me. In that moment, beauty intertwined with a deep sense of emotion, creating a scene that lingered in the heart. And beyond that, it belonged to him. Each line resonated with his voice, unrefined yet unwavering. In that moment, A swell of pride filled my heart, a profound and unwavering pride that resonated within me. As I completed my task, I lifted my gaze and discovered him already observing me with keen interest. "Text, you accomplished it," I remarked as I set the pages down with care. "Oh, Jacob, it is truly breathtaking." He radiated joy, yet there was something deeper than mere pride in his smile. In that moment, an elusive presence lingered, a gentle warmth, perhaps a yearning that whispered through the air. And in that moment, a shiver ran down my spine. "You were the guiding light that led me to this moment," he said. "In the quiet moments of my past, I often found myself believing that my voice held no significance, that my thoughts were mere whispers lost in the vastness of the world. In the quiet of the moment, I whispered, 'Every soul carries a tale.' All you sought was a kind ear to hear your tale." His gaze remained locked onto mine, unwavering and intense. In that moment, my heart whispered a truth that echoed through the silence. I needed you. In that moment, my breath was stolen away. In that fleeting moment, silence enveloped us and words hung in the air, unspoken and heavy with meaning. The wind playfully danced with a loose strand of my hair, drawing his gaze for a fleeting moment before it settled back on my face. At last, he spoke, his voice carrying a weight of realization. "You are different," he declared. "It's not merely for the knowledge you possess, nor solely for the ways you've lent me your aid. It is the essence of your being. In all my days, I have yet to encounter a soul quite like yours. Once upon a time, there was a young man named Jacob. Once upon a time, I embarked on a journey, filled with enthusiasm and hope, yet I found myself at a crossroads, uncertain of how to bring my tale to a close." With a subtle shift, he leaned forward, resting his elbows upon his knees, as if drawing closer to the unfolding tale. "May I pose a question to you?" With a gentle nod, I acknowledged the moment. "Have you ever sensed that, as the years pass, the world begins to overlook your presence, as if a veil has been drawn over your essence after a certain age?" The question lingered in the air, creating ripples like a stone cast into a serene pond. As I felt a constriction in my throat, a wave of unease washed over me. In hushed tones, I spoke, "Always." They gaze upon the gray hair and the wrinkles, yet their eyes fail to wander beyond the surface, missing the stories woven into each line and strand. It feels as though you slip into the shadows, unseen by the world around you. He leaned back, his gaze shifting to me in a way that felt entirely new. Not in the way a student gazes upon a mentor. Not even in the days of youth, when a young man would find himself in conversation with a wise and seasoned woman. His gaze carried a heavy burden, a depth that spoke volumes. In the midst of the swirling fog, there emerged a beacon of clarity, illuminating the path ahead with a gentle yet unwavering light. "In the quiet moments, I catch a glimpse of you, Martha." Words eluded me in that moment. My fingers quivered ever so gently upon the arms of my chair, as if they were caught in a delicate dance of anticipation. In that moment, a wave of vulnerability washed over me, a sensation I had long kept at bay, hidden away for years. It was more than mere words that flowed from his lips. It was the essence that lay within them, a clarity that spoke to the heart. In the depths of the heart, there lies a profound sincerity, a truth that resonates with the very essence of our being. In a moment that caught me off guard, a young soul, barely half my years, spoke with a candor that felt both refreshing and profound. "I don't want to cross a cue," he added with a sense of urgency. "There was something I felt compelled to share with you, a truth that lingered in the air between us." We lingered in that moment, time stretching around us like a warm embrace. The air that surrounded us was thick with a tension that, while not perilous, held a certain intimacy that drew us closer together. Truthful. As he rose to take his leave, I accompanied him to the gate, our footsteps echoing softly in the quiet evening air. He paused at the threshold, casting a glance back at me, his eyes brimming with a softness that lingered, a mystery yet to be unraveled. "I can't quite grasp what this is," he remarked, a hint of confusion in his voice. "Yet, deep within my heart, I understand its significance to me." And so, with a quiet resolve, he took his leave. As the moon cast its gentle glow through the window, I nestled into my reading chair, a cozy blanket draped over my lap, pondering the events of the evening that had unfolded like a mysterious tale. What was unfolding in that moment? In that moment, I was far from foolish. In my heart, I understood that the world would perceive it through a singular lens. Yet, within the quiet sanctuary of my mind, a feeling began to unfurl, a long-hidden seed finally breaking through the surface. It was not mere desire that stirred within. It was not a tale spun from the threads of fantasy. It was as if one had been unveiled, gazed upon with an understanding that transcended the surface, a connection untainted by artifice. In that moment, fear gripped the heart, a chilling sensation that sent shivers down the spine. And thus it unfolded in all its splendor. As the clock struck noon on that fateful Saturday, the doorbell chimed, breaking the stillness of the day. As the morning sun cast its gentle light, I found myself immersed in activities that once brought me joy, each moment unfolding effortlessly, as if guided by a familiar hand. As she tended to the indoor plants, nurturing each leaf with care, she folded the laundry with a rhythmic grace. In the corner of the living room, she paused, her gaze lingering on the remnants of Richard's old records, a testament to memories that still lingered in the air. Yet, in recent times, a peculiar shift had woven itself into the fabric of existence. It felt as if the world had hushed, enveloping everything in a gentle stillness. In different forms, the volume rises. As I turned the knob and swung the door wide, there stood Jacob, a figure of familiarity yet dressed anew, clad in a button-down shirt that hung a touch too loosely on his slender form. In his hand, he cradled a small, folded envelope, its edges worn and secrets tucked away inside. "I received the acceptance letter," he declared, a broad smile spreading across his face. Whispers spread through the room, carrying tales of an essay that resonated with strength and depth. As a gentle chuckle escaped my lips, a warm tide of pride surged within me, filling my heart with a radiant glow. "Indeed, it was just as you say." With a flourish, he presented the envelope, a silent testament to his claim. I examined it closely, stepping aside to grant him entry into my world. In the heart of our home, we gathered in the living room, where the golden afternoon sun poured in, casting a warm glow upon the polished hardwood floor. "Would you care for a refreshing drink, my friend?" As I inquired, I found myself already pivoting towards the heart of the home, the kitchen. With a soft demeanor, he paused my words and said, "Can we have a moment to talk first?" His tone carried a weight of seriousness, not burdensome, but intentional and measured. With a gentle turn, I nodded my head, inviting him to take a seat beside me. As we nestled into the embrace of the couch, a cozy space lay between us, yet an unspoken truth lingered in the air, hinting that this distance was transforming from a mere physical gap into something far more profound. He leaned forward once more, elbows resting on his knees just as he had done the other day, his fingers dancing nervously along the hem of his sleeve. It was a day like no other, one that lingered in his mind, and he began to share his thoughts, reflecting on the moments spent in the garden. "Let me share with you the tale of my thoughts. Let me share with you the depths of my emotions." With a hesitant gulp, I felt the parchness settle in my throat. "Once upon a time, there was a young man named Jacob." But allow me a moment to share my thoughts. Only a single time. If you choose not to speak further, that is perfectly fine. With my hands gently folded in my lap, I settled in and awaited the unfolding of the moment. It's clear how this might appear to you. In the air, a melody unfolds. Yet, I must share with you that this journey has been far from a mere youthful whim for me. My journey to this place was not merely to craft a fine paper. Upon my arrival, I stumbled upon a treasure I never realized was essential to my journey. Once upon a time, there was a presence that captivated the hearts and minds of many. This presence was unique, a beacon of light in a world filled with shadows. It was a force that drew people in, leaving them enchanted and eager for more. The story of you is one of wonder and intrigue, a tale waiting to unfold with every passing moment. My heart raced with a fervor that echoed through my very being. In the depths of my heart, there stirred a sensation, a peculiar ache that danced between the realms of exhilaration and fear. Indeed, his perception of the scene was not misguided. Yet within the walls of this house, at this very moment, a sense of rightness enveloped the air. It resonated with a sense of truth. He lifted his gaze to meet mine, his eyes filled with a questing intensity. In that moment, you bestowed upon me a sense of significance, as if I truly held a place in this vast tapestry of existence. As if I were not merely a child, wandering through the maze of life, still piecing together the puzzle of my existence. In the quiet moments when the world seemed to turn a deaf ear, you were there, a steadfast presence, ready to hear what others could not. Your attention was a rare gift, a beacon of understanding in a sea of indifference. Your gaze met mine, free of any judgment. You glimpsed the vision of the person I aspire to be. I paused, allowing the silence to linger in the air for a few moments before I finally spoke. Never did I imagine such a turn of events, I whispered gently. In a moment of reflection, I whispered to myself that I was merely extending a hand to someone in need. In the quiet corners of my heart, I hesitated to confess the joy that bloomed with each visit, or the warmth that enveloped me when your gaze met mine in that special way. His expression transformed, a flicker of hope mingling with the shadows of uncertainty. Ah, it seems I am not alone in this journey. A gentle smile graced my lips. It's a shared experience, one that weaves through the fabric of many lives. He extended his hand, moving with a deliberate slowness, as if to offer me every opportunity to retreat. Yet I chose not to. His hand brushed against mine, a touch both gentle and filled with respect. As I touched his hand, I could sense the rough calluses earned from long days at the hardware store, a testament to his unwavering strength and the steady confidence in his grip. For a time, silence enveloped us, wrapping around our words like a thick fog. In that moment, the silence that enveloped us felt different, a gentle pause rather than an uncomfortable void. It was brimming, overflowing with unspoken words that lingered in the air between us. In that moment, I turned to him and spoke with a weighty seriousness. Whatever this is, we must tread carefully and with great thought. In the tapestry of my years, I had come to understand the fleeting nature of tenderness, how swiftly it could spiral into recklessness. With a subtle nod, he acknowledged the moment. My heart is heavy with the thought of causing any harm, for I wish to preserve the beauty of what we have. In the depths of my heart, a yearning stirs, a desire to truly know you, to feel the warmth of your presence beside me. It was not a sweeping gesture of love, filled with poetic words and dramatic flair. It was a tale of simplicity, woven with sincerity. It nestled itself within my heart, more profoundly than any grand tale ever could. As the afternoon sun dipped low in the sky, we found ourselves nestled in a shared moment where words flowed freely at times, while at others, silence wrapped around us like a warm embrace. In a cozy corner of our home, he lent a hand as we repotted a beloved plant. The air was filled with the comforting aroma of leftover casserole, and laughter bubbled up between us like a joyful melody. Suddenly, our feline friend leaped onto the counter, sending a spice jar tumbling to the ground. In that moment, we were united in laughter, tears of joy glistening in our eyes, as the chaos unfolded around us. In a world where shadows danced and secrets whispered, there lay a truth. Nothing transpired that warranted concealment, Yet the very fabric of existence shifted, and everything transformed. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow, he lingered at the threshold, a moment of hesitation hanging in the air. "I don't know what's next," he said, a hint of uncertainty in his voice, "but I'm glad it starts with you." And then, just like that, he vanished into the ether. As I lingered in that moment, a gentle hum of something serene and exquisite wove its way into my very being, wrapping around my bones like a comforting embrace. Uncertainty loomed before me, a vast expanse of the unknown, and I found myself pondering the mysteries that lay ahead. Perhaps it was merely a fleeting chapter in the grand tale of time. Perhaps it was a treasure of the rarest kind. Yet, in that moment, I realized I had been witnessed, genuinely witnessed. And in the act of being seen, I rediscovered the art of seeing myself once more. Not as a woman who has seen her best days fade into the distance. Not as a figure slipping quietly into the shadows. Yet, here I stand, a soul still embraced by the warmth of being needed, cherished, and loved, in ways that have taken me by surprise. And for the moment, that was all that was needed.